People, today we are just going to walk over to Nigeria. And the reason why we are walking over to Nigeria, my people, is because as I was walking in the streets of Twitter, I met Tinubu. I met Tinubu in the streets of Twitter, my people. I was looking at him and I'm seeing all these people that are around him. And I'm like, why is it that in Africa we cannot respect old people? Somebody like Tinubu, my people, is supposed to be resting. If you go to the United Nations definition of vulnerable people, you find children, persons with disability, women, and you find persons aged over the age of 65, both men and women. Do you know what vulnerability means? It means those people need special care. My people, look at me. Let me tell you something. You see, Tinubu needs to be resting. I don't know why in Africa, we the young people don't want to help our elderly people to rest. You see, once we are born, we grow up, we are playing, we are working, we are studying, so many things to do. When we reach the age of 65, we are supposed to slow down. And it's for obvious reasons. Our brains are exhausted. Our bodies are exhausted. It is this time we are supposed to calm down. Try to reflect. Try to relax. Meditate more. Just want to be a little bit more, have more space for yourself, for your family, for your great-grandchildren. Be in a position to move around and look at what God created. Because when we were growing up, there were so many things to do that we couldn't even connect with the nature. Now it is time to connect with nature when we grow old. Why are our old people coming to be given seats of power? To lead countries full of people, like over 200 million people in Nigeria, for example. The largest economy grappling with the worst type of problems that you can find in Africa. From anger, terrorism, to unemployment, overpopulation. It is just so many things that you can't even get to understand how he can handle this. Now, let me tell you, my people, one thing. Our old people need to understand that there is time for everything, and there is also time for resting, and we have to help them to rest because we have the power. You see, when such people now come over to want to lead, we need to let them understand that, we thank you for being very experienced. We thank you for reaching that age. We honor you and we respect you because you are an elderly person. However, we cannot give you this very huge responsibility of leading a country like Nigeria. You see, anytime you meet a Nigerian, they are always telling you how their economy is large, how they are rich. But now, that riches can't translate if the perception of the country is not changed. You see, perception is key. You see, let me tell you, if a country is led by a strong leader, no matter how much it is grappling with problems, perception is different. And the perception creates an environment that makes the country look stable. At the moment, Nigeria does not look stable, both security-wise and every other thing, because of poor leadership. Now, I know we are already inside one box, fighting inside there. And this box is the box of tribalism. We're always thinking, because so-and-so speaks my language, that person must be perfect, is everything. But let me tell you, a bad person is a bad person. Whether you speak the same language with them or not, there will always be a bad person. One thing that holds us back in Africa is tribalism. We cannot even afford to vote for somebody from another tribe because we feel we are not safe in their hands. And you always keep wondering, why do we think like this so narrowly? Why are we so narrow? When are we ever going to be open-minded? I don't understand when someone like Tinubu comes out and is asking for a seat and he has a lot of people following him. Most probably because he has money and because in Africa truth is held by only those who have the money. But I am always asking myself, why do the young people never Why do we not want liberation? Because anybody that is the age of 18 and above in Nigeria must be somebody that can vote. And why is it that the young people are the ones that keep selling their votes? They don't care about voting. This is why these our leaders, the very old ones, when you open your eyes, you see somebody like Tinubu. How can Tinubu be a president of a country? And it's not to undermine him. It's just to say, I respect him. He's my grandfather. He can be my great-great-grandfather probably. And he needs to rest to be taken care of. You know, we have to reach a point where our old people will show them direction somehow. You know, we tell them, no, Papa, you can't pass through that route. Yeah, Papa, no, rest. And Papa will rest. I don't know whether you people are getting what I'm saying. Because I look at the African youth and I see us as people that have struggled too much. You struggle until the age of 65. And it's because these very old people have refused to pave way. And that's why people are looking for seats like Tinubu over the age of 65. But anyway, Tinubu is not new to politics. He is not somebody that is poor. He has all the money. He's just looking for power actualization. He's not even, I don't think he's looking to lead Nigeria, because I don't understand how he can be moving from one country to the next, attending all these functions that are usually, you need somebody that has energy to move around, somebody that has energy to speak, the person that can communicate to the youth with energy, not somebody whose energy is dwindling. You know, like you reach a point where you've spoken too much that you are slowing down in speaking. You get. So at the end of the day, for Nigerians, no matter how much you feel about being tribal, it is time that card, you just chucked it out of your pocket. You know, I don't understand this hypocrisy. At one particular point, we usually say, hey, our colonial masters did this, our colonial... Yet we keep on holding on the things that the colonial master left with us. Things like polygamy, things like talk of the practices that you cannot imagine of, women roles, and all these things, divisions. Why do we hold on all that? Why do we hold on them? For what reason do we hold those things? Because it is quite hypocritical. Now, if we've decided to change our continent, we must start by changing Nigeria. And all of us should be concerned, whether you come from Africa, which part of Africa, East Africa, West Africa, wherever you come from, Central, you must be concerned about Nigeria changing their country. And the reason why you should be concerned is because anytime you meet Nigerians, in Nigeria and outside of Nigeria, you meet Africans. Sorry. Every 5 Africans, 3 of them are Nigerians. And so it should tell you a very strong message. It should tell you a very strong message. And I understand their desperation, because all these old people are too many. I think it's the only country you find a lot of old people in power. It's the only country you find women not being able to lead. Yet, the country has over 200 million people. And I know a majority of them are those women. When they vote, who are they voting for? Why are women not making a change? Why are the young people not making that change? Now, as we all go for Christmas, and as we are struggling to understand the inflation rate that is happening in the world, as we are grappling with these hard economic times, it is also an opportunity for Africa to take the chance and make a difference. And you see, for Nigerians, for example, they have the opportunity. Come next year, when they are voting for their presidential candidate, my goodness, my people, cannot be Tinubu. And this I mean very well. I don't hate Tinubu personally. I see him as my grandfather. I respect him. We need to take care of old people in Africa. We need to respect age. When someone has reached a point where he's supposed to rest, he should be allowed to rest now. We can't allow to continue to overwork our old people. We overwork them. And we are saying we are the ones, they are the ones who are choosing to overwork. No, we must help them. there is a time that riches, your thinking is not always 100%. So for our own old people that have refused to leave power, we have to help them. For Ugandans, for example, Museveni has always been the president. Some of us were born, found Museveni as the president. We've grown up, Museveni is still the president. My people. Paul Biya of Cameroon, the same thing. You go to Mugabe of Zimbabwe, who is already now late. He was the president for the longest time. We can't have such in Africa. I know some of you are already thinking, but we keep justifying. In the US, Joe Biden is 80 years. Let me tell you, you can never compare spoons and plates. And when I'm saying that, I mean well. Do you know why? America has working institutions. African countries are still a work in progress. So let us accept that we are a work in progress and take responsibility and try to build a continent that we can live in. Because all these issues of tribe, you come from this tribe. The only reason why probably some people feel they cannot vote for someone like Pitombi, especially the older generation. And they are the ones that will be telling the youth, no, you cannot do this. I'm old. I have a lot of experience. You have a lot of experience. You are an old person. That is why you need to allow the younger generation, that is us, exposure to bring this technology to bring change. We are in 21st century. Change that works. Because this old generation, very bad practices against women, practices against everybody, even against themselves, that is not working for us. And this is not to say we don't respect the old people. We respect you, my people. Old people, age is a blessing. But when you reach the age of retirement, please, I'm begging you, retire. Don't come back here and start asking for bigger responsibility. Leading a country of over 200 people is a very huge responsibility. You can't have such a position at that age. And that's why all of us strive to do things when we are still very young. We want to do everything because we have all the energy that is there. We feel like we can just, I know you understand because you were once at that particular age. And we need to allow the youth to lead. Women should lead. The youth should lead. Because there is no change that is going to find Africa without their involvement. And for us, the youth, we have a role. With our vote, anybody that is over the age of 18, don't throw your vote or sell it. If you are given money by the politicians, because I know we are always angry for money, and we don't have the money anyway, eat the money, use it. But you should never feel obligated to vote for that old person because they are just buying your conscience. Eat the money. Vote for the person that can change. Because, that 20 naira, 50 naira, 20 shillings, it's not going to make any difference for you. And for my Nigerian people, shine your eyes. Is that not what you tell everybody? Shine your eyes when you are voting. Come 2023. Merry Christmas.